Just thankful how the outcome was.
A Central Kentucky pastor shot while on a mission trip in Haiti talked to us tonight as he returned to his church. The search is over. How police say they've caught up with the second convicted killer who escaped from a New York prison. A trip in an RV took a dangerous turn today for some folks along Interstate 75 in Lexington.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Right now, we're tracking the investigation into a fire that ripped through a Lexington house. Multiple fire crews are on the scene when our crew arrived at the house on Georgetown Street minutes after firefighters. Flames and smoke were pouring up into the sky. Firefighters say everyone inside the house got out safely. The fire is now under control, but the house has heavy damage. Investigators aren't sure yet what caused the fire, but they think it started in the back of the home. Firefighters say the home did not have working smoke detectors.
If you don't have a smoke detector, this could have been a whole lot more tragic than it was. You know, don't be afraid to call us. We'll even come out and install it for you.
Firefighters say the people who live in the home have a place to stay tonight. He is grateful to be alive. Today, an Estill County pastor returned to his congregation for the first time since being shot on a mission trip in Haiti. Pastor Bill Wesley suffered a leg injury. He returned to Kentucky Thursday, and today he was back at his church for Sunday services. Sam Smith joins us from the live desk with our top story at 11.
Kristen, Wesley is happy to be home. He says despite everything that happened in Haiti last week, he does not want to stop anyone else from going on a mission trip. His mission trip was cut short, but now he's back home at Body of Christ Ministries. Pastor Bill Wesley was part of a mission group in Haiti to deliver shoes, toys, and to build swing sets for children. His group was attacked when they were returning from a church service Tuesday night.
I can still hear the sound, the blast.
Wesley and 3 others were all shot. They all survived, though. Wesley was shot in the leg.
Just thankful how the outcome was, and the Lord's hand was on us. There was hundreds of souls saved while we was there, and so it was worth all that.
He returned home to Kentucky 2 days after the attack and went straight to the hospital for treatment. Sunday, he's back at his church.
We're just thankful for being home. We're just thankful for everybody that played a part in somehow in all this, because it's a promise that all things work together for good.
He doesn't want his experience to stop others from helping people in Haiti.
What happened over in Haiti isn't going to dishearten us going back, and there's carjackings and shootings here in our state.
Wesley and other members of the church are already planning on going back to Haiti as soon as possible. There's no date set yet. At the live desk, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Sam, thank you. Organizers believe the attackers targeted the mission group because the land the Haitian church is on is valuable. Tonight, the second convicted killer who escaped from a New York prison is now in custody. Police arrested David Sweat just days after they say they shot and killed the other escapee, Richard Matt. Kenneth Craig tells us how police say an alert state trooper helped make the arrest happen.
The nightmare is finally over.
A New York state trooper spotted David Sweat walking down a street Sunday afternoon in Constable, New York, about 2 miles from the Canadian border. Police say Sweat, who was unarmed, took off running, but he didn't get far.
At one point, the sergeant decided to discharge his weapon, hitting Mr. Sweat twice in the torso.
The convicted cop killer was rushed to a hospital. He's listed in stable condition.
The 3-week manhunt has had residents in this area on edge.
Everybody around here has been pretty nervous, and finally everything's going to get back to normal.
Police believe they know how the 2 escapees managed to travel more than 30 miles after breaking out of the Clinton Correctional Facility in Dannemora.
We believe that possibly these 2 males were using pepper to throw the scent off for the dogs who were tracking him.
Matt's luck ran out on Friday. He was shot and killed when police say he refused to surrender. An autopsy listed Matt's cause of death as severe skull fracture and brain injuries due to gunshot wounds to the head. It also adds he had bug bites, blisters, and was intoxicated. As for Sweat, police are eager to learn more about his life on the run. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Malone, New York.
Police have charged 2 prison employees in connection with the escape. We're learning about a Mennonite murder investigation in western Kentucky. State police say family members found Amos Yoder dead and his wife Marjorie badly injured in their Todd County home this morning. Police think they were attacked during a home invasion. They say Marjorie is recovering at a Nashville hospital. They do not know her condition. Police say Amos Yoder is a respected elder of the Mennonite community in Todd County. Tonight, hundreds of people filled an Anderson County church to pay their respects to a fallen state police trooper. 23-year-old Trooper Eric Chrisman died last week after police say he lost control of his cruiser in western Kentucky and hit a tractor trailer. Trooper Chrisman graduated from the State Police Academy 6 months ago. Family and friends say he wanted to follow in his uncle's footsteps and pursue a career in law enforcement.
Everybody was extraordinarily proud of him for his choice, and he just did great work. He was a wonderful kid.
Visitation for Trooper Chrisman continues tomorrow morning from 9 until 11 at Nineveh Christian Church in Anderson County. The funeral will follow at 11. After the funeral, the procession will leave the church, then travel south on Highway 326, then down US 127 south through Lawrenceburg. Trooper Chrisman will be buried at Sand Spring Baptist Church Cemetery off US 127. If you didn't get to enjoy the great weather today, you are out of luck. More rain and storms will be returning in the work week. Mike Linden joins us with an early look at the forecast.
That's right, Kristen. Today was certainly a beautiful way to round out the final weekend of the month, but we're already seeing change working its way back into the bluegrass. Just look toward the northwest, and that's where we're finding the moisture this evening. Now, you'll start to see that in stages, first of which will be the cloud cover thickening up ahead of this active weather that works its way in from the east. Now, this storm was up near Minnesota to begin our day today and has followed the path that the previous storm cut out into the bluegrass that was responsible for the beautiful day today. The cool, dry air, it's just essentially set up a highway for that storm to just slide right into, and we will see that active weather push right into the bluegrass overnight tonight. Temperature-wise, notice that we have temperatures in the mid to low 60s, some still closer to the 70s, and you can see that difference here. Cooler in the southeast, warmer in the northwest. That is the cloud cover working its way back into the bluegrass. And coming up, I'll break down this active pattern because it's not just tomorrow, Kristen, where we'll find active weather. It looks like it should be right into the beginning of July.
Flames and smoke shot up over Interstate 75 this afternoon after an RV caught fire. The fire happened in the northbound lanes near mile marker 106 in Lexington. Police say the driver of an RV pulling a car noticed a mechanical issue. Moments later, the fire broke out. The driver managed to get the RV to the shoulder of the road. Firefighters put out the fire, but they were not able to save the RV. No one was injured. Police say the fire did not cause a major traffic impact. New tonight, some scary moments for a Lexington family when a fire broke out near their home on Tuscaloosa Drive. Around 6:30 tonight, firefighters say someone was turning on a grill and knocked over a gasoline container stored nearby. They say the gasoline ignited, catching the deck on fire. Firefighters kept the fire from spreading to the house, but the deck has some damage. No one was injured. New tonight, friends of a Lexington man who died after a shooting gathered to remember him. A vigil was held in Douglas Park for Kwame El-Amin. Someone shot him during a basketball tournament at the park 1 week ago. He died Thursday night. This afternoon, the group Bikers Against Violence rode around Lexington collecting donations for El-Amin's family. Friends say he was trying to end violence in the city.
He was the first volunteer that we called when we were asking for vendors to help us with the Stop the Violence rally, and he brought his food truck out and he served the kids and things right there at the end of that stage. You know, that's who he was.
Bikers Against Violence told us they collected more than $1,200 during their fundraiser today. A carbon monoxide scare forced firefighters to evacuate employees and guests from a Lexington hotel. A front desk agent at Candlewood Suites on Adcolor Drive off Newtown Pike says a carbon monoxide detector went off this afternoon. Fire crews responded. We're told they found traces of carbon monoxide in the building and rushed everyone out of the hotel. Columbia Gas also responded to check it out. Everyone was allowed back inside the hotel after firefighters determined it was safe. New tonight, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a small plane to crash into a house in Massachusetts. The crash happened late this afternoon in Plainville, not far from Boston. Investigators say the crash sparked a fire that destroyed the house. 4 people inside the home at the time got out safely. Investigators say the 3 people on board the Beechcraft plane died. The plane took off from Pennsylvania and was heading to an airport near Boston. 3 years after a tornado destroyed it, the congregation of a Magoffin County church has a new place to worship. A tornado on March 2nd, 2012 left St. Luke's Catholic Church in ruins. Since then, the congregation has held services in tents and other temporary facilities on the property. This morning, they dedicated a new permanent home for St. Luke's.
Waiting for this for 3 years. We went down 3 years ago, started building last May, a year ago. It's exciting. It's exciting. Very positive presence in the entire area.
The tornado also destroyed the church's priest house. The congregation has plans to rebuild that building too. One man faces many charges tonight after a high-speed police chase in Clay County. Manchester police arrested 20-year-old Ralph Hall Jr. last night. They first noticed him riding a dirt bike on Memorial Drive. When Hall saw them, police say he sped off. Officers tried to stop Hall, but say he drove through an apartment complex where several people were in the parking lot. They eventually boxed Hall in and arrested him. He's charged with fleeing or evading, wanton endangerment, and reckless driving, among other offenses. NASA leaders are calling today a tough one. An unmanned SpaceX rocket broke apart this morning after launch. The rocket was heading to the International Space Station. A couple of minutes after launching from Cape Canaveral, Florida, the rocket broke up over the Atlantic Ocean. NASA isn't sure what caused the explosion. The rocket was carrying supplies for the space station. A woman from Wales is running across the U.S. to raise awareness of some important causes. Rosie Swale Pope's journey brought her to Kentucky this weekend. We caught up with her in Bath County today. She lost her husband to cancer more than a decade ago. She says the grief got her running. She's traveled more than 20,000 miles in different locations around the world. Now she's focusing on the U.S. She's not taking donations. She just wants people to give to cancer research and veterans.
If people give me money, I nearly always give it back to them. I say, please do it in honor of this stupid woman pulling the cart, but give it to your church.
She expects her journey across the U.S. to take about 6 months. We have a link to her website on WKYT.com. Lee K's in next with sports. Lee K, if that does not inspire you to run, I don't know what would.
Hey, you're running a lot these days. I don't know if you have any plans to run across the country, but